Hey, it's Tuesday night. Welcome to Grumpy Acres Farm. It's weekly homestead update and chat time, and we are so glad you're here. As usual, grab some coffee, hot cocoa on a cold night, right? Or maybe even a hot adult beverage if that's your thing. And let's settle in and let's talk about what happened around here this week and just general goings on. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm going to repeat Paul's question to everybody.
Okay.
Because that was kind of where I was thinking too. So, how's everybody getting ready for the cold and the snow that's coming? While they're thinking about that, why don't you say hi and we'll see who all's in the chat. We got Lucy. Lucy's in the chat from up north.
Crooked.
Talk about snow. And Paul's question, where is everybody? Cold here in Massachusetts. Time to get ready for snow and 0-degree temperatures. We are not getting hit with the snow right now. In fact, we're not supposed to get nearly as much as other people, believe it or not.
Of course, we got snow a few days ago, and we weren't supposed to get that snow.
Yep. Starla's in here.
Hey.
Lynn's in here. What's up, man?
Hey.
Who else?
Jane Marie.
Is it Jane Marie?
Yeah,
Homestead Twins. Hope everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody had a really good week.
Did you say hi to Starla?
Yeah, I said hi to Starla.
Alrighty. Great. Oh, did you see?
I have not read the email yet, Gregory. I will see it. I will read it and get back to you. Half bubble off plum.
Hey.
Best Nabe on the YouTubes. Hope you guys had a really good week. We got a lot accomplished this week.
Like the Google.
Huh?
The Google, the Facebook.
The Googles and the FaceTimes.
FaceTimes.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Is that what it's called? The Facebooks, book times. I don't know. That's all this newfangled tech.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
there's Rank 2000. Hi.
Hey, greetings to down under. Hope everything's going good. He's in the middle of summertime right now.
I know. Did you hear about that woman that woke up? Her husband and her and the dog were in Australia. I bet Rink knows what I'm talking about. And she woke up. She thought it was the dog laying on top of her. She was uncomfortable. And there was an 8-foot boa python, non-venomous, but kudos to her because the husband got the dog out of the room so that the stink didn't hurt the dog. And then she picked it up with her hand and threw it out the window. I couldn't have done it.
That would have been a deadly snake. I would have died of a heart attack.
Right.
Hey, before we go on, anybody that's new here, if you're lurking, welcome, and we thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate you joining us. This is a really good community. And Tuesday nights we cover a lot of ground and we get a lot of good information.
Yep.
We give information and we get information, and that's what this is all about.
2 feet of snow. Good night.
Who got 2 feet of snow?
Oh, my crooked little homestead, Miss Lucy, up there in Canada.
Oh my gosh!
Woo! Keeps the shark attacks here 4 and 48 hours.
Oh my goodness!
That used to happen in California all the time, and Florida's really bad about that too. I hate that. It's terrible for people.
Remember seeing the hammerheads going into Pearl Harbor when we were coming back from the Gulf.
The hammerheads don't really bother you. It's the great whites are bad, and then the sand sharks are awful. You have to make sure that you scooch your feetsies in the sand to scare them away so they swim. Because if you step on them, lose a toe. Saw
a lot of tiger sharks too when we were out around Australia.
This weekend going down to -40.
Oh, they were talking places up on the high plains. The wind chill is going to be -60.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the weather up until about 24 hours ago.
Sharks he's got going on there.
I remember seeing they have shark nets. There's a river that comes in from the ocean and flows up into Perth, or I guess it flows down out of Perth. But they got shark nets,
so the sharks can't get in,
like 20 miles upstream from the ocean.
That makes sense. So they can still come in and breed, but they can't get in. Yeah, that makes sense.
But the weather's the talk of the day because we're not going to get hit nearly as hard as some other people. In fact, if you're one of our subscribers, you know anybody that lives south down in Arkansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas,
Louisiana,
that band across there, you need to really check in on them and make sure that you're safe if you live there, and make sure that your family or friends are
they
safe.
need to buckle down. They need to get some food on. They need to get their generators, making sure that those are working. You need to get all that stuff done. Blankets, wood.
Well, unlike here, they don't have snow plows.
Right.
They don't have snow plows. They don't treat the road. And they're talking the Dallas area is looking at getting 1.5 inches of ice.
Which is going to stink because that means they're going to lose electricity again. Yeah.
Of course, did you guys see what happened in Kamchatka, the peninsula in Russia? They had a snow. They got as much snow in 5 days as they normally get in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they had snow drifts that were 5 stories tall in the cities. Get online and go look at it. It's crazy. I mean, I complain about the snow. I would not want to live there. Would not want to live there at all. Like I said, we're only slated to get between 3 and 5 inches.
Did you see that?
Which one?
That was dumb. Oh my gosh. The activists here in Australia wanted shark nets removed. They did, and the deaths increased. That's insane. Craziness.
Build you a snowman. I don't know. The last snow we got really wasn't good snowman making.
No, it wasn't a lot. Now, last year we had some really good.
Yeah, last year.
But
the stuff we got this weekend was more ice pellets than it was snowflakes.
The stuff that's coming this next weekend, it might be good if we get what they say. We're supposed to get up to 5 inches of snow, so we'll see.
God, I haven't built a snowman since the kids were in school.
Well, I gotta tell you, if it is cold, you will not see me outside. Period.
It doesn't have to be cold. You don't go outside.
I may even tell Lisa that my laptop needs to be given to me by Thursday.
I would take it into consideration because So here's the way snow works around here. So my work, if there's a school district just south of us, and if it's not having classes because so many parents have kids that go there, they shut the government down, and we get a snow day.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 inches of snow with cold will probably give us a snow day. So I may have, had yesterday off. I might have Friday off if it snows early enough.
Yeah.
Which will be good because I can continue working. But
Rainey says theirs is going to be more ice than snow, and they are what? They're talking inches of ice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That weather model going from Texas all the way across into Tennessee and Kentucky, that's bad.
Dang. Oh, you guys definitely need to make sure you're pulling everything out, making sure it works.
We're talking the 98 ice storm.
Oh no, that was terrible. Nope.
Didn't see snow till my late 30s. I was building a snowman on the streets of Chicago. That was always fun being in the military because these guys had married these Filipino girls, and they'd bring them over to the States, and they'd never seen snow. And again, they're like early 20s, and they're flipping out because they get to see snow, and they're out there running around in their short skirts and high heels because that's what they had on when the first time they saw it.
I'm lucky. I'm a California girl, so I got to see snow. If I wanted snow, I went up into the mountains. If I wanted surf, then I just went across the street. If I wanted desert, then I just went to grandma's. Yep. So didn't have to worry about anything.
That's before they ruined it.
Yeah, went skiing in Big Bear, and it was a ton of fun.
I saw a very interesting
local prepper.
Hey,
DLC.
I saw a very, very interesting picture today about gas prices, and
gas went up.
It had the border of Arizona and California, and there's that Pemex station and another one on the California side, and then on the Arizona side is Winter Haven or Yuma, and Winter Haven's on the California side. Mm-hmm. Average gas price in Yuma, Arizona is $2.80. Mm-hmm. The average gas price of the stuff on the California side is $5.08.
Oh, you thank Governor Newsom for that.
Yep. LP loves the
Oh,
cold.
you know it.
Yeah. I tell you, I don't. We were talking about that this weekend. Scott and I were.
Mm.
I don't enjoy it as much as I used to because it hurts too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time the barometer changes anymore, I can tell
You can feel it.
every old injury I've got starts aching. My hands, I can barely move my hands because of all the scar tissue and dislocated fingers and all that. And when Manny was still alive, whenever winter rolled around,
Oh, the two of them sounded the same.
he would lay in front of the fire and I'd get in the recliner next to the fire, and every time we had to get up, it was like, I miss that old man. He was a good dog.
Lisa got a German Shepherd. She's been showing me pictures. He looks just like me.
Does he?
I'm like so ready
Excellent.
for another one.
Hello, Grateful Hearts.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, we're getting ready for it. That's one of the things I did, with the animals. I spent this evening I put about 2 feet of hay in the mama pen inside both the
That's what you're saying.
Shelters.
You put more hay in the chicken coop.
I gotta get some hay into the chicken coop.
In the turkey coop.
I don't think they need it. You walk in there. So the turkey coop is a 8x10 metal shed, and there's 7 turkeys in there. They're older adolescents, and you walk in there, even when it's cold, their body heat, there's like ice forming on the ceiling because
really, is the wind supposed to be blowing? I would take into consideration in that, because we're in a valley, so just because winter usually brings northern winds doesn't mean squat, because it circles down here, and so it's really everywhere. That's why I'm always like, southern breeze, yay! And then I go out on the front porch and I'm like, what happened to the southern breeze? So, but yeah,
he hides. That's the one good thing about the winters. You get to wear clothes that accentuate your shape. It doesn't accentuate your shape, I should say. But yeah, so getting the animals ready. I'm not looking forward to when it gets cold again, because I can't run the hoses because they freeze up, so I got to schlep all the water by hand. I carried 30 gallons of water this morning. Took me 20 minutes to get everything.
Hey, look at that! Typhoid Mary came in. Hi, Skeins.
No. Hope you're feeling better.
She's not. She's still sick.
Well, it's going around. She's
3 weeks now. She's on her 3rd week.
Nate Hale, you met Nate from the Boys and Girls Club, tall guy. He ended up he got sick.
Oh man.
Both him and his wife,
I don't know. I keep telling everybody, like, everybody needs a lavage. And then that way, when you go out in public, you come back, first thing you do, wash your hands, change your clothes. Like, I came home from work. What did I do? I went straight in. I changed my clothes, took my suit off, changed my clothes, and then washed my hands and did the lavage. The lavage works. Just keeps you kind of straight. So,
a Cornish cross. Birds
are laying eggs. Yeah, we got some eggs. I took my boss some eggs today, actually.
We've been getting eggs. We got a dozen eggs in 4 days, which past several months. It was like 2 eggs a day, every other day,
or every 3 days.
Hey, Tiger's here. How you doing,
hey,
Tiger?
Tiger, are you excited about what's coming to a city near you?
What's that?
They're getting a new ice facility, and it's down there on 155th, right next to Honeywell. They're calling that, it's going to be pretty much the welcome federal corridor.
Tiger's on the other side of the state.
I thought she was in Kansas City.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Then it doesn't affect her. It might. Just wait. Wait and see. I guess it depends on how many illegals you have over there. But,
and we'll talk about that. Somebody brought something up that was very interesting about these facilities and all that stuff. Remind me whenever we start talking, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll repeat what was said because it was very interesting. It was a take I had not had on it, and it's kind of insightful as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and then there's an interesting twist to all of this. So Pete Schillman got on. He was on Mark Levin tonight, and he was talking. So it's kind of a race to get these facilities up because come to find out, the foreign countries have actually been sending there are people here like funding it for them to come here, the illegals, and then they get women pregnant. There's one man that has 100 children born in the United States from different women.
I'm trying to figure out where that fits into the homestead.
It doesn't, because I'm not looking at that. No, it's just funny. It just reminded me of Tiger. So I'm like, that's a race. Sounds like a race to me.
Yeah.
So you get them put away so that this doesn't happen. So
but that's about it for the animals. The goats and the sheep are doing well. The babies are getting big. We still need to get them up on Facebook and Craigslist to see if we can sell some of them.
Mm-hmm.
We did lose another chicken.
No.
I don't think she was feeling well, but the turkeys started attacking her. When I got out there, the big black turkey, Turk, who probably weighs about 30 pounds, but now was standing on top of her. And we thought we could save her, but it was just too much for her.
She did her best.
Yeah, she fought it a long time, but it ended up being too much for her.
Yeah.
So I still got to cut her up. It's been cold enough. She's not going to waste. I just need to get her cut up for
dog food
dinner tomorrow night for the dogs.
Yeah.
She'll still serve the property.
Yeah.
The freestead.
Yep. Skeins, Greg and Susie are coming into town.
Maybe. I haven't read the email.
Yeah. I think you guys got to work out a date.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, you said something about the weekend of the 30th or something like that. Or you said something about a weekend. He said the 30th. How was at work?
Ghetto. Long time no see, man. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. You're going to get hit by some weather.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess most everybody's going to get hit by weather except for SoCal, and even Florida's going to get hit by it.
Sierra Nevadas got hit hard not too long ago. They ended up with, I want to say it was somewhere between 8 and 15 feet of snow. Sierra Nevadas got hit.
Up in the high Sierras.
And so yeah, I don't think anybody is pretty much going to skate.
I'll tell you what, speaking of California, speaking of winter, I'm here to tell you that it's always sunny in Southern California and warm is it's a crock. It's a complete crock. Because when I was in boot camp through November and to January, and it got stinking cold and it rained. I remember it rained for like a week straight, and we were out there having to drill in it and stuff. And that just blew. Mm-hmm. It just blew chunks. And then when I was on CDD, we went on that exercise up to Camp Pendleton, and it literally started raining as soon as we got off the transports at Camp Pendleton, and it quit raining when we got on them a week later, and it literally rained for a week straight on us.
So Starla,
this one,
yeah. First of all, it's Don Lemon, of course.
Okay, we're going to talk about that after the update. We'll talk about that after the Freestead update. I've been thinking about it. I'm going to change the name of this to the Freestead update instead of the Homestead update.
Right. They had a
gardening
first calf heifer. No, I can't read it. I told you you can't be doing that to me. No, because it's white behind there. Ding dong. I had a first calf heifer. I have a cow yesterday. I have a calf yesterday that we have to help along. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm still
bathtub times.
I'm still bottling the Holstein sheep and the tub sheep. Mm-hmm. They're getting enough food for mama, I think, but they're always starving. The other babies aren't starving all the time.
As long as you take everything out there for them, they're always going to be starving. But, like, you even have adults out there that think they're starving.
Well, but they're always starving. Yeah, the adults are always starving. Cats are always starving too. We figured that out tonight. The cats apparently are dying, like constantly. They're constantly dying. Gardening and that stuff. What you got going on in the gardening? What's going on with gardening now?
So I've got some seeds. I'm trying to figure out more seeds. I'm getting so he's got my soil out there, so he'll bring that in, and then I'm getting my coconut and perlite ordered, and then like I have everything in my cart that I need. So I've got all that stuff going on, and then did you order the mini greenhouse or did you?
Yeah, I ordered one of them.
So, so that's ordered. So we'll get that in. And then I went and got the organic sweet potatoes. This is it. This is the last year. So I told you I need an airtight system for the sweet potatoes this year. I am not going to purchase sweet potatoes anymore. He's going to put in some potato and fruit savers down underneath the house for me so that they're temperature controlled. And that is where I will store what I need for the next year's garden to do. I'm not buying them anymore. I literally got, what do you think there is? There's 20 potatoes over there.
I'm not nearly as upset today as I was yesterday because when she was talking about it yesterday, all I could see was one. Here, reach over and grab that.
Oh no, that's the multi-generational.
But I could only see one bag with like 5 potatoes. She's like, this costs $50.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But there's more than that.
The multiple varieties, I wanted to make sure like I get them and I want them now. So literally like the good varieties, like the Japanese, the purple sweet potatoes, the orange yams, and the what else did I get over there? Anyway, I'll have to look at them. I've got it all written down. So I got 4 special varieties. If you guys have never had the Japanese sweet potatoes, they're amazing. And so got all of that. They're $3.89 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do it. I won't do it anymore. And so this is it.
Gregory wants to know about thoughts on the greenhouse. Was it worth the money?
The greenhouse that we bought?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. We haven't used it nearly as much as we should.
If it was cleaner, it would be better. If the wind wasn't so high. Now that's the one thing, but that's our fault. So the way that it's put together, so there's windows that come with it and you're supposed to put those windows in, they're not in. And I think had those have been put in, then the frame around it would have pushed it and made it a little bit tighter, but he wasn't having it. He wasn't putting my windows in. So, and I think if I had the fan in there and some sort of heating, well, you did put the heating system in, and so that's made it a little bit better. The heating system could be better.
The greenhouse works, and like I said, we have not used it to its fullest, but we're gonna make a concerted effort this year. At least I'm gonna make a concerted effort this year to use it to its fullest.
I started plants. I did my seedlings out there last year. I let somebody else in the community come over. She started her seedlings out there last year, and it was very successful. I don't think we didn't have one plant not come up.
No, there were some. But no,
that would have been a seed issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So, but it was great.
Here's the problem with a greenhouse that size in where we live is it gets you through till. Well, this year it would have gotten us through until the last part of December. Then it would have been usable for another couple of weeks in January. But it gets so cold here.
Really, you'll just be done in February.
It gets so cold here that normally by the end of January to first couple of weeks of March.
I really think that we could be doing there's no reason why we can't be doing like kale and lettuce and that kind of thing out there right now. It's totally doable. And in fact, I'm going to check out, there's a seminar. He won't take it because I don't know why. He just wasn't receptive to it. But I'm going to check into it and make sure that it's recorded. Then I can go back and watch it. It's a free seminar. And it's literally hoop houses in the snow and how to grow in the wintertime. And that's one thing that they talked about was those hardy greens. And so it was like your collards and your kale and your lettuce and all of that and getting those going. And they're beautiful. They show pictures of it and that kind of thing. So could they be AI generated? Maybe, but you don't know if you don't try.
No, Len, we've got a bunch of windows and old glass storm doors, and we're going to build a seed starting lean-to off the south end of the house. Mm-hmm. It's going to be right out the door, and it'll be big enough that hopefully we can start our seeds out there. It's got electric. It'll have electricity.
I thought you were going to put it there.
No, go out the door. It's right there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and the nice thing is it'll be close to my kitchen window, and so the goal is as that heats that, if I needed to, I could crack the window. And
it's not going to be. It's going to be right from the window to the corner of the house.
I thought you were going to cover the window.
No, it's too tall. But what we can do is we can.
What do you mean it's too tall?
What we can do is we can make a piping system that will.
You're going to make it so that I can walk in there, right? I'm not going into plant if I can't.
The window's too tall from the outside.
Oh, you mean because of the top of the house?
Yeah. The window's too tall.
So, but you're going to make, so what, you're going to make it lower? I don't know why you're getting frustrated. I don't understand what you're talking about.
It's not going to cover the window.
Well, that's too small.
Tiger says, just use starter mix, starter pots with 2 seeds per pot. What kind of seeds, Tiger? Sometimes it takes broccoli and cauliflower a couple of weeks to come out.
Yeah. And then I finally found the cores for my aquaponics. So I have those in my basket, and yeah, I've got everything in there that I need. So, and those I could actually order now, and I can start growing in here now in that aquaponics.
Now, one thing with the garden, I made a proposal to the community on Discord. My contention is that there's no reason that anybody that's in our circle should have to buy the staple vegetables from the store this year. There's absolutely no reason. Once the first harvest comes in, nobody should have to buy veggies from the store. And I proposed a plan on how to get everybody's seed started, have a work schedule where we help everybody get their gardens going. There's absolutely no reason why anybody in the community, why their garden should fail for lack of help. All right. It's
why their garden should fail for lack of help.
People get
so you're going to go over and help other people with their garden? As
a community, we're going to help each other. Yes. We should. No, let me rephrase that. As a community, we should help each other. And we should enable each other to succeed.
I don't see that happening right now, but I hope it does.
Well, I appreciate I appreciate the positivity.
No, I mean, look, nothing, no downer here. What I'm saying is I actually talked to somebody else because I have heard I will come over and help if you plant and that kind of thing. And she was never able to come over.
Live in the past.
Are you kidding me? I just talked to her and she literally told me it's not happening this year.
Well,
so
she knows that's one person
I think that's not true either. I just think everybody has lives. Like for me, when am I going to get in there? I have Saturday and Sunday only.
Well,
and I don't have time to be over in other people's garden. I got time to be in mine.
Work days. That's what work days are for.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just saying
you're proposing it.
I'm just saying that as a group, people decided that it's a good idea and they want to try to do it.
Yeah, you're proposing it. Did you see my cabinet? You better fix that before I lose it.
What?
Look under the drawer towards the TV. The bar.
I can't see it.
Above the door. It's not attached.
I can't see it.
The white cabinet under the drawer is not attached.
Well, that's a good update for everybody.
No. So this is what happens around here. So you get stuff stored and then done and things get moved and bumped and that kind of thing. And it's just when you catch it, you got to say something because I will forget. I've been staring at the same thing every 2 weeks, the last 2 Tuesdays, and I forgot to say anything. So I figured I'd point it out.
It's funny that you said that. My neighbor has been
wearing me out about getting their greenhouse going as well as
raised beds.
The raised beds. They need help.
So they call.
Well, so here's my thing, Randy. If you're doing your thing and they need help and they want to get started, I would help them get started. So they're not coming to you for food when they can't get food. When potatoes get so high that they can't afford potatoes, they're going to come to you for potatoes.
Well, and here's something I learned about community, and you can take this to the bank. People will always find a reason to make it fail. There will always be reasons for ideas not to work. There will always be reasons for people not to partake in these community efforts and say that they don't think they'll work, and that communities fail. That's why communities fail. That's one of the biggest reasons.
I said I hope it works.
But we are going to. I'm going to make a concerted effort to make it work.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to enable as many people to succeed as possible. And other people say that they feel that way. And we had a meeting on it, and I feel bad because I forgot about. I thought it was next weekend, but apparently it was this weekend, and I got on late. But there was a group of people there that were trying to facilitate it and make it happen. So we shall see.
What was that?
We shall see.
No, what was that?
It was on Discord. There was a meeting.
Oh, what time was that at?
It was 8 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I didn't find out about it until 8:30
Oh.
because I thought, like I said, I thought it was on next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so yeah, but the other thing that I got, so Gregory, you're asking about trays to start the seeds in. So I actually found, and you should put that up on our Google or our Amazon list of stuff that we order. So I actually saw these in motion because the friend that came over and used the greenhouse to start her seeds, she had these trays with a draining mat. And then she used what's called a blocker, and you mix your dirt, get all that stuff together, and there's a recipe for it of how much of what you put in there. And then it expands your soil use and keeps the moisture in. And you take the blocker and then you put it down, you fill those blockers up. And they're, if I remember correctly, they're 2 inches by 2 inches, right? Is that, yeah, I think they're 2 by 2. And there's 8 of them in there, but you can get different sizes if you want. And then you literally you have wet soil, you take it, you use the blocker, and then you squeeze it, put it on the tray, and repeat until the whole thing is full. And then once the whole thing is full, you go ahead and you take your seeds, you plant them, mark everything in there. Like every single one of hers that she planted with that recipe showed up. They were all there. And then in fact, I used her same recipe. So I went ahead and bought some of it and then was using some of hers because she was using the greenhouse. And almost every single plant that we planted seeds, they came up. And they actually did pretty good. Their failure was humans' fault. So, not the starting deal. So that's what I got. I found that on Amazon.
I went out there every day and watered them.
No, those survived there.
I went out.
I'm talking about the overspraying over here and that kind of thing. There was some.
Well, those survived in the greenhouse because I went out and watered them.
I mean, they needed to be watered. So I don't know why you're getting defensive. That wasn't the problem. Outside and planted was the problem. But there's a water ratio to that too. So once they're wet, then you fill up the water ever so much and then it sinks down. And then you always want the water to be below the tray. And then as it roots, it, kind of soaks up. And so those worked really well. You were even impressed with them. Mm-hmm. They worked really well. So I highly suggest those. And like I said, I mean, when you're first getting those tools and doing all of that, it is expensive. He about had a heart attack. And I had to reassure him, I'm just putting everything I need in the cart. It's only January. I can get everything ordered just in time for what I need to do. Relax. And so, because I can just order a little bit at a time and get it here. It's not going to disappear. So, but the Perlite was cheaper to order it by that large bag. So I'm doing that because then I won't have to buy it next year. So, but you want that. It's a volcanic compound and it helps hold water and that kind of thing, nutrients. So you definitely want that. And then the coconut coir, you want that as well. And that's what helps expand. But yeah, so I'm super excited.
All right, Randy, take it easy.
Bye, Randy.
I still got to send you the feed mix. I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Dang, you still haven't sent that?
No. Busy.
Yeah. So he'll get that to you tomorrow.
That's it with the gardening stuff. Infrastructure talk.
Oh yeah.
The infrastructure was the big story this week.
And the biggest surprise.
We started replacing the floor in the laundry room. The floor that I fell through. And somebody came over and helped us, and we ended up tearing out half the floor. We decided we figured out that one half of the floor was still in good enough shape that it would last.
But with security, didn't you guys secure it though?
Well, we ended up tearing off actually more than half the floor. We tore out. and we had to marry some joists to three joists. We had to marry beams to it. Had to rebuild the trapdoor cover, and then we had to put 4 layers. We raised the floor 2 inches, and we did that by laying 4 layers of OSB down, and it's pretty close. It's still a little bit below where it needs to be. We'll find out whenever we put the vinyl flooring on it.
I think it'll be okay. So then at that time we'll make the decision as to whether or not it's a transition or if it's a threshold.
Right.
So
well, but Scott and I spent all day Saturday tearing stuff out and fixing beams, and oh good Lord,
they worked hard.
It got cold in here because
and it stank.
There's a 11-foot by 5-foot hole in the bottom of the house, and the cold air was just flowing into the house all weekend,
pouring in.
And
it was 9 degrees outside.
I meant to have
it done. What the wind chill was.
I meant to have it done enough that the washer and dryer could be hooked back up on Saturday, and did not get them hooked back up until last night.
Well, because you had more stuff that you thought that
right.
you didn't know you were going to have to do.
It ended up being more of a project. It cost me about twice as much as what I thought it was going to cost.
But the good news is, so even though we had a quote unquote lumber run, the lumber run was just to Scott's house. And so he luckily had the lumber on hand.
I went to Home Depot 3 times in 3 days. So,
but I thought you did all that before the project.
No, I ended up going Saturday morning.
Well, that's because you couldn't go on Friday because of snow.
No, I went Sunday morning and Monday morning, both.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So lumber runs, but that was for the, because of the unexpected. But speaking of which, did you pay Scott for that, or are we just buying him?
I'm just buying him new wood.
Okay.
Yes, house projects always become bigger than what you initially think.
Yeah. And the weird part is, like, I was watching how bad it was. So the guys were like, you could tell it was just dirty. I was really worried. They found 2 spots that had some mold from the leak that got mitigated, correct?
Still haven't got the kills.
I mean, you got to remind me. I could have went today and got it.
You said
I was in Topeka yesterday, and
you said you were going to get it.
So, but I forget these things. So send me a text. I'll get it tomorrow. And so maybe that's what's going on with me. So then, so that will get mitigated, and so we'll get that taken care of. And then, yeah,
that's absolutely true, Leonard. Well, and the floor was a lot worse than what we thought it was. Right. There were places.
It was amazing. Anything was still on top of the floor.
Yeah, there were places where the only thing holding it together was the asbestos tile that was sitting on top. And but I think we got it. We jacked it up when
there was no asbestos tile in there. There was no asbestos tile.
No, ceramic tile, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, no asbestos tile. So, because the EPA demands that you have to have that mitigated and hire a company to come in.
Oh.
And so we did not do that. He's just making a minor mistake, and he's not a contractor, so it's okay.
But I can't. You let me lose my train.
Sorry, I mean.
But we ended up having to jack it up because the floor was about 2 inches lower in one spot because of where the hot water heater was sitting, and we married a joist to it, and I jacked it back up, and the original joist snapped. It literally cracked because getting it back into position. So I'm glad that we did that, and we built a cripple wall underneath the floor to hold the joists up, and it's nice and solid now. Mm-hmm. If I jump on it, I can still make it move a little bit, but that's going to be like that any place in this house just because of the way it's built. But man, it looks so much better, and I'll post a pic in community whenever we get it done. There's still quite a bit to do. I've got to get the hinges on the trap door. I've got to rebuild. I've got to finish building the door itself so it's not just a 1/2-inch sheet of OSB.
And you're gonna put cabinets and stuff in for me too. Are you gonna
eventually
build me that closet? And
I don't know. I found out where I can put your ironing board cabinet though.
Where?
Behind the door. It's a perfect spot for it.
No, I don't know. Isn't all that telephone garbage back there?
Nope.
No, that's that pegboard.
There's more than enough room in there.
So not convenient, but stop it. But I don't think that that's as wide. I think you're right. I think it'll fit behind the door. But as long as it's warm in there to iron. Is there a plug over there?
There can be. Yes, there is. There's
Okay.
the plug.
Yeah,
But
as long as there's a plug for an iron.
let's see. I can't wait for spring. Get the cabin finished, work on the orchard, and get some more trees cut down.
See, once spring comes, he won't work on the house anymore, except for in little titty bits. So, because everything's outside. So we're trying to get whatever we can in the house done this winter.
There's the other.
He can't work outside.
Tiger made me remember. There's another thing with the gardening. Is there was discussion about a big community buy from the Kansas Forestry Service, and I took the lead on it, and I said, "Okay, get with me," because I was going to order. The reason I just happened to fall into this conversation on Discord, and
While he was ordering,
and I literally had my cart full because I was going to go in there and tell everybody about it because they had the Kansas still has a lot of stuff in stock. And I told them that I was going to hold off until next Saturday, and that anybody that wants to do a group buy to get with me and give me the money by Friday and the list of what they want, and I would order it on Saturday. And then a couple of people offered to go down and actually pick them up because the forestry place is only about an hour and 20 minutes away from here. It's a nice, easy drive. They start doing pickups.
I thought it was in Manhattan.
It's in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, Patty was driving.
But
it only took us 45 minutes. But Patty was driving.
Well, Google says it's an hour and 20 minutes.
I believe you.
I don't care.
Maybe should Patty go pick them up. That'd be fast.
But so we'll see. Nobody's gotten with me. I told them to contact me directly, and nobody's gotten with me. I'm making my order on Saturday, no matter what. If nobody gets with me and wants to get on the order, that's fine.
Why would people offer to go pick it up if they're not going to order?
Maybe they thought they were going to order, and I don't know.
It's only Tuesday.
I don't know about this stuff. I'm going to give them a reminder tomorrow, and they can do their own group purchase.
Well, I thought I saw that Tag wanted pawpaws.
Yeah.
So
that was the big thing. They got 25 pawpaw plants for $50.
Trees.
So, which is a good deal. It's a very good deal. It's not as good as it used to be. Just
somebody said they found them for $40, but we couldn't find them for $40. We
tree
found them
inflation.
for $50. Everything went inflation. Gas went from $2.11 to $2.29. I'm like, what happened here? Like in 24 hours, boom, done.
But once we get the laundry room done, as soon as it starts warming up again, it's going to be
Greens girl, trees girl.
Yeah, trees. Get on Discord. Go look in the native plant section.
Fruit trees.
But
all kinds of stuff.
Once we get into springtime and it's not freezing and I can open the floor up again, the next major project is going to be getting the floor in the back of the house replaced. I got some other projects that I can do between now and then that's going to free up space so we can clean out the living room portion of it and get everything straightened out properly. So we're making progress. It's like a log jam. You work on it a little bit at a time, and eventually it just bursts open, and you're able to get a lot of stuff done until the next jam happens.
Look at that, Paul. Maybe you'll get some fruit this year. 3 to 5 years, you might see some small fruit on there. Good for you.
Yeah, if that's one thing, guys. If you're getting rootstock, most fruit trays, 3 to 5 years to produce a fruit. If you're growing it from seeds, it's about
Longer than that, right?
8 years.
Yeah.
So if you got a chance to buy rootstock these trees, I highly recommend it. I've told this story before, but I planted 600 trees at the old place and had about a 10% survival rate, and that's still cheaper per tree than buying them individually from the store.
Did you get the order done through Food Forest Nursery?
No, I have not had.
We've got to get that done so that he gets us on the list. I don't want to lose those. Food Forest Nursery. We got fig trees and some kiwi trees and peach tree. And I think that's it. I think that's all we got. We did order some last year. Something happened. We didn't get the order. We don't care. We don't pay for them. So we just test them out, see how good they are. We're testers for them. And I'm telling you, those fig trees, we got fruit the first year that we planted them. I was shocked. I was like, that's amazing.
Then the goats killed them.
And then the goats ate them. So we got to order more. But luckily, he sent us another email and he said, hey, guys, what do you want? Pick 6 trees. So we just need to get that done so we can get on the list before they sell out and get them going. I suggest you all do the same. They're really good quality. He's a great guy, like-minded. And,
description down below
yeah.
has the
Link.
affiliate link
Yeah.
for him.
Use that link and just go take a look. He's got everything from berry bushes to fruit trees to all kinds of stuff. And I'm telling you, like kiwis, figs, apple trees, peach trees.
And if you want to see how he sends them, we've got a video of that too.
Yeah, there's an unboxing video. In fact, you see it in the opening video here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, very good quality. And I was shocked at the size of the roots on the thing.
Mm-hmm. So
it was 12 inches or more of root, and they were big. And what's funny is he describes them as bare root. And I was expecting like what you would get from the conservation department, and it was not. It was nice trees. You guys will be very, very happy with that decision. So make sure you check that link below and then go take a look at his website.
Peaches and plums this year for certain. Picked up bare root, rootstock, and
Yes, speak up.
Wingreed World in Oregon.
Yes, speak up. You're mumbling.
Peaches and plums this year for certain. Picked up bare root.
And roots on rootstock. Wingreed World in Oregon.
It's amazing that you can order plants from Oregon and get them in Massachusetts.
I mean, you can
This
order
is
in
what
Missouri and get them in Kansas.
what a wonderful world we live in, right?
Oh my goodness.
So that's about it on the infrastructure. Did you tell them about your cooking on Saturday?
I'm cooking on Saturday.
Yes, the meal that you cooked.
What's about it?
Just tell them what you cooked. Just tell them about it.
Applewood smoked salmon on a cedar plank with a garlic herb mashed potato and a sauce, a gravy sauce with garlic buttered asparagus.
You're mumbling.
Did I mumble? I don't think I mumbled. I'm right in front of the microphone. So that was dinner. Except for Nikki. She doesn't eat fish, apparently. So she got Casey strip and a baked potato.
That was our way of saying thanks for everything that they did. She did. I will say this. She laid out a very good spread for us.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So like, there is this wonderful McCormick's restaurant on the plaza that we used to eat at, and that was always my favorite dish to get there. And so I just oofed it a little bit, putting it with the cedar plank and then the applewood and all that stuff. So it was just amazing. It was really good, well seasoned. Everything was delicious. We had to hold dinner a little bit longer, so it was a little dry, but with the sauce and the mashed potatoes, you really couldn't tell. So, but yeah, that's my favorite.
Oh, and then personal projects. You got any personal projects going on?
Keeping my sanity.
She spent all day yesterday lounging around,
just
being
chilling.
sloth.
Oh man, I tell you, like I'm so glad I did too, because I woke up rested this morning, and I'm so happy I did. I got into work early. I like 15 minutes early is on time for me, and so I got in there, and then usually like I'll just fart around, check my email and that kind of stuff, and make sure that I'm caught up. And this time I walked in and I looked at everything, and I messaged my boss. And I'm like, would you like me to go ahead and clock in early? I'm here anyway. And she's like, yes, please now. I'm like, okay. And so I did, and we were swamped today. It was craziness. Coming off a holiday weekend and then that kind of stuff. And then I had customers that I had taken care of on Thursday. They were emailing me, and then, they wanted a lot of things done right now, and I'm trying to explain to them, but I took care of the emails. I got people pushed through. It was a successful day. but I was passing out Tylenol to people today. So it was really funny because I keep the really big bottles. And so everybody's like, there's nothing in the first aid kit. Like, we have a first aid kit, and in the first aid kit, there's no Band-Aids and no Tylenol, ibuprofen, nothing. And so I'm like, all right. So everybody was like, what do you got? What do you got? So we were all trying to hand things to each other and just keeping everybody sane and trying to work everything out. But it was a successful day. Everybody was glad to go home, and we all got to go home safely. So it's all good. But yeah, so that's my personal project. But I think I do have another personal project coming up that needs to happen. I got to get my cabinets organized again. So people are helping me, and I appreciate the help, but I'm having a hard time finding things. So I'm going to have to pull everything out, redo everything back the way that I had it so I know where everything is. And this isn't just a month in the making. This has been, how long have I been complaining about where things are? What, a year and a half now?
35 years.
Whatever. So I just need to pull everything out and then reorganize everything. So that may be my project for next weekend. But and then I need to get the food pantry in here organized because I have empty boxes in there that I noticed. Like, that's ridiculous. Or boxes with one thing in them. So I need to get all that out, reorganize it.
So, and I've been plugging away on the books. I'm still editing the urban preparedness book and the practical lessons from the Bible. But did a lot of research last week on self-publishing, and it occurred to me that, you know, a good way to get some income coming in the years to come would be to start a publishing company. So I pitched the idea to somebody, and they seemed interested and said that they would look into it too. It doesn't look like it's too terribly hard once you get the pattern down and you've got the process. I could see where somebody that doesn't put a lot of thought into it would fail very quickly. But we've got at least 2 of us in the community are writing and almost ready to publish books. And I would really like to encourage other people in the community to write books and do that. You know, and I got good feedback from Spags on the preparedness book, and I've been posting some of the Bible book in our men's Bible study Discord, and got some positive feedback there. You know, the one comment was they'd never looked at it that way, but it was perfectly sound. The
Nice.
reasoning was perfectly sound.
Nice.
So I think I'm on the right track. I got somebody else reading it as a whole, and so I'll get functional feedback on it and go from there. Skane says she worked nine hours at the office trying to catch up on paperwork from when she was sick. That's always fun.
Was sick? I thought you were still sick. I just talked to you.
But you know what, guy? I wore these overalls so much this weekend that my shoulders are chafed.
Why are they so tight?
Because if I don't have them tight, they fall down and unzip and get under my heel and everything. I got to have them up high. It's just the way they're built.
Huh. Interesting.
If you have it loose, they fall down and that's why the hems are all screwed up on the bottom of the oven right now.
Interesting.
Of course, I've had these for what, 10 years, 12 years now?
Probably more than that.
They've been very, very, very good to me.
It's probably time to get a new pair.
They're expensive now.
I know.
They're
They were expensive then
very
too.
expensive.
Vanderbilt sometimes has sales. We need to check on that. In fact, I think those were right after Christmas. I think those were it was buy anything in the store, get something half off.
Yeah, and the other project, it's as much a personal project as it is a Freestead project. Cutting wood. I got another cord of wood cut this week, and brought it up to the house and got it stacked. Part of it's in the wood crib outside here that we used to burn because they were small enough they didn't need split, and the other part of it's over there waiting to be split. You know, that now that the ground's getting hard again, I can get down there and start pulling stuff out. So
Yeah, it sounds like we might need that for this weekend.
Yeah, But we're going on our 5th cord of wood. Normally we do 5 an entire year.
It's been cold.
We're gonna be deep into 7 cords, maybe even 8 by the end of the year.
I think we were 7 cords last year. It was last year or the year before we were 7 cords.
So yeah, that was very relaxing. I got a new bar, got new chains. That's some. Hey guys, look, be sure that you know exactly what size chain you need, because I made a mistake and put the wrong chain on there, and it ruined my bar. And had I kept going, it would have ruined the chainsaw too. But luckily I figured out what the problem was.
Oh, I would have been mad if it ruined the chainsaw.
Oh.
That was an expensive chainsaw.
But so just make sure. Oh,
what happened there?
No, I hit the little thing down the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, just make sure you're using the right chains for the chainsaws and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Darren says he's got 455 that uses those chains, so they're not going to go to waste.
Okay.
Be able to pass them on.
They can't be returned?
No.
Why?
Because
how many did you buy?
I've got 3 of them out there that are still in packages.
So how come they can't be returned? Didn't you just buy those?
No, those are the new ones. But it's difficult to find good work clothes at reasonable prices. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It used to be that you could go to a thrift store and that's where I found all my work clothes, all my work jeans and stuff for years.
Not anymore.
And you can't do that anymore because they it's treasure now, and it's way expensive.
People are getting smart with their money, and they're just looking secondhand. You gotta just check that store every day, and that's tough. I can't do that, but then get in early because they fill. I think they fill it like I think one of the stores fills every Thursday, and then you miss. Everybody knows to go on Friday. So
Susie was cutting wood this afternoon.
Nice.
Just feels good. It's just easy. It's just you can think while you're doing it and just get in the rhythm. And I just fill the tank up and do 1 tank of gas, and then I stop and move it up to the house and split it if I got time. Mm-hmm. It's nice and relaxing.
If we did on a weekend, if you picked up, well, no, because you'd have to pick up the logs. Are they really heavy logs?
Yes.
Because I used to run the splitter for him. I would split the wood while he did the logs, but I can't lift over 25 pounds right now. So do you think some of those logs are heavier than that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that won't work.
Well, and that with that, I don't think do we have anything else to talk about homestead wise?
I don't think so. We talked about the sweet potatoes. Didn't really finish that, but I'm going to get the sweet potatoes started this week. Did you get my soil pulled up like I asked you to?
There's a blue tub in there full of soil in the greenhouse.
Can you bring it up for me?
Yeah, I'll make a point to get it.
So because it's got to be warmed up so I can get these planted. And then so I'll get that done and get these in. So when is that greenhouse supposed to be here?
Friday.
Okay. So we'll have everything on Friday. I'll give you an update. So either Friday night or Saturday. Depends on how difficult it is to put this sucker together. At what time they drop it off. Sometimes we don't get packages dropped off until 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
So
and if it's snowing, no telling.
Oh yeah, if it's snowing, it may not even come. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna call peace out, and you guys be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today. And it was good seeing everybody. So, adios on my half.
Yeah, Paul, that was really nice being able to go in and just get a brand new chain made. How do I put this?
You had a chain made?
Yeah, Rick used to make them for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
How do I put? I
always thought those were repairs that I was picking up for you. That's funny.
No. Well, he would sharpen them, but when we needed new ones, he would make us new ones.
Oh, I'll be darned. He was crafty.
Yes.
I miss them. They shouldn't have come back from.
It's always nice. It's always nice to have somebody in your in your contact list that knows how to do this stuff. And Rick was a bang up small engine mechanic, and he could basically fix anything lawn wise.
Including vehicles. He just fixed our vehicle too, didn't he?
Tiger says she'll keep being 10% better than yesterday. Eventually, I'll be perfect.
I don't know about that. I can't promise that.
You gotta count for a deterioration there, Tiger.
However, I applaud her declaration.
She applauds you. She applauds your optimism. All right, let's see what happened this week. Starla mentioned a certain church thing. If you guys missed it in the news, it's kind of hard not to miss it. That the anti-ICE people decided that Christian churches are now targets, that they need to go in and harass all the white people in there while they're during their worship service. And Don Lemon, who's gay, by the way, in case you didn't know, married to a white guy, an evil white guy, apparently.
I thought he was married to Christy.
No, he's married. He's married to a white guy, if you can call it marriage. But that's another story. But he was embedded with him, and he went and filmed it all. Now, this is concerning on several levels. Number one, the fact that they decided it was okay to now go in and attack a church. And that's what it was. It was an attack. It wasn't a violent attack, but it was an attack, and disrupt their services and chase them all away. Number two, the fact that Don Lemon was embedded with him just shows exactly how far gone he is. There's a very enlightening interview that he did with one of the members of the church, and Don Lemon, and a lot of people on the left are like this. I don't know if they're lying. I can't tell. Either they truly believe the BS that they spout, or they're knowingly lying. Either way, it's concerning, because the stuff they say that is just, it's verifiably true. They'll get caught doing something and then lie about it. They're worse than children, but the left has decided that what they're doing is not enough. And there's a video out there today about some poor guy walking down the street going to work. Look at, he had a Carhartt on and a hoodie, and some jackhole is accused him of being ICE, and then started screaming at him and cursing at him and yelling at him that he was a Nazi. I made a post on Discord, told everybody, look, if you're going someplace that's going to be a target. I told you the story last week about being the target of the Islamists. Now you're going to suffer if you're a white person. You're going to suffer at the hands of these people. Now, I'm pretty sure most of us don't live in places where this kind of nonsense takes place, but you never know, because it's a mind virus. It's a mind virus. It's an infection, and these people, they're deranged. They're true believers. They honestly believe what they're saying, but they are deranged, and you find all kinds of videos. Now, here's on the flip side of this. A lot of that stuff is put out to inflame us, right? There are powers that be that want us divided. So I said it before, you have to learn how to parse through all that stuff and learn to figure out what's important and what's not important, what's real and what's manufactured. The anti-ICE protests are manufactured, right? There's video proof of this lady hitting the guy with her car, yet she's an innocent mom, right? So, and I'm sorry that the ICE agent, like I said last week, was perfectly fine. And the guy walking down the street, 30 years ago, the guy with the camera would have got his ass beat. He would have got beaten to a pulp. And I know I said that violence means that everything else has failed. And Scott and I had a conversation about that this weekend. Part of being involved in this is understanding when things have failed. You have to know when the failure points happen so that you can change and adjust to the new situation, right? And whether you want them to fail or not doesn't matter sometimes, because if the other people want it to fail, then it's failed. All right. Let's see. Gregory says, if you're embedded with the bank robbers filming, you're just the same as an accomplice. And there's the question. There's the big question right now that a lot of people are talking about. There's like the Hive Mind and some other people that do YouTube commentary. They're saying that he might go to jail. I know Washington Gun Law had a video that was basically the same take. What's the face palm for, by Anti? He's got the little green face palm. But the Chuck Schumer came out this week and basically laid out the Democrat platform as being pro fraud. He flat out said that as soon as they get back into control, they're going to roll back all the Doge cuts. So, anti-fraud or pro-fraud there. The Democrat Party's stated position now is governmental fraud, using taxpayer money to push their agenda and promote their side of the story and keep the other side from being told. No way in the hell the lefty goes to jail for anything. Well, we're a year in, and they are prosecuting people. No, they're not prosecuting all the people they said they would prosecute. Oh, that's not a facepalm, that's peeking. Okay, Anthony. They're not. I mean, there's been more arrests of Amish farmers in the last year than there have been people that were on Epstein Island, right? And so they're. I have to think that it's a calculated thing that they're doing, because there's no other explanation. But but again, Scott and I were talking, and I made the point. I said, all these things, none of this stuff that's going on in Minnesota affects me. It really doesn't. That type of activity doesn't go on here. The people that do that type of stuff are either extremely fearful of going out in the country, or they know better, because the rules they play by in Topeka don't happen here. Epstein Island becoming Shutter Island. But there's a story. Oh my goodness. Let me finish this thought, and then that you just made me think of something. Yeah. So it doesn't affect me, and if you live out in the country, it doesn't affect you. But we still have to be ready to deal with it, because you never know what's going to happen. So there's always, we talk about possibilities and probabilities. The Epstein Island thing. You put a one in the comment section if you know what Roblox or Minecraft is. Everybody, I'm sure everybody's heard of it. Sure everybody's heard of it. But anyway, I saw the Roblox people said that they, Roblox is not being used for pedophiles. Pedophiles aren't using it to target children. Somebody on that site made a exact replica of Epstein's Island on Roblox. Now, Roblox is made for kids, or it's supposed to be made for kids. Yet somebody had the time and went to the effort to make an exact replica of Epstein's Island. You know, and I'm all for free market and all that stuff, but sometimes these people need to be put in jail. They need to be prosecuted. You know, and it's okay. So yeah, we got some people that know what that stuff is, but I would make sure your kids, your grandkids or your kids aren't on that stuff, because those are dangerous places.
Did you see that Bill and Hillary are refusing to show up for the Inquisition?
Yeah, she asked if I'd seen how the Clintons are refusing the subpoena to speak in front of Congress. Hey, you know, some animals are more equal than others, because if I refused to a subpoena to Congress, they would come and arrest me. You know, they let Eric Holder get away with it. He got a censor letter. Ooh, that hurt. Clintons nothing's going to happen to the Clintons, because they are too embedded into the system. You know, and then let's talk about politicians. Rand Paul announced that he is now in favor of people being able to sue Google and YouTube, or was it Facebook? One of the, because I remember the parent company, Google. He is now in favor of people being able to sue them. But in the past, he was against it. You know, he was laissez-faire and free market, and the government shouldn't be involved in that stuff and all that. But now somebody is using those platforms to say that he made money off of, what was it? Something that just happened recently. And it was what the people are accusing him of is really bad. And I honestly don't think he did it. But now that his ox has been gored, he is all about taking action against these people. These are the type of principled leaders that we've had to deal with. You know, and if you're a Ron Paul fan, I'm sorry, his principles have not impressed me for a long time. The man's very intelligent, and he's got some really good ideas, but his ideas on implementing these ideas are fairy tale material. They're naive. The world doesn't work like he thinks it works. And he used his principles to shut some things down that he did not agree with. And I always thought that he cared more about himself than he did the country. And this last statement that he made just solidifies that for me. You know, he was all fine for other people being hurt by the way Google did business and the way YouTube and Facebook did business. But now that he's the one that's suffering, now it's time to make a change. Right. And he's one of the good guys too. I'll put him in that category. He's one of the good guys. He's one of the guys. He's one of the good guys that always talked about the Constitution and doing all that stuff. But yeah, you know, he just turns out he's another politician. You know, and if you're a Rand Paul supporter, I wasn't going to apologize, but I'm not going to apologize. It is what it is. You know. Yeah, he's still working with the collaborator. He's still working on carburetors. Okay, I must have missed the first part of that. You know, but that was the other thing. And then let's see what else went on. The Greenland thing. Now there's a prepping channel out of the UK that I like watching, because I like getting the European take on affairs. And they did a live today, and they had some chick from America on board. And they started talking about Greenland and some of the stuff that they were saying. I had to turn it off. early into it because some of the stuff they were saying, I mean, all the propaganda out there about what's going on with Trump and what he says about Greenland it's ridiculous. One of the comments was made that maybe Trump and Putin are working in cahoots and trying to split the world apart. And then the news story about the EU sent 37 soldiers, 1 officer, and 36 troops from like 7 different countries to Greenland as a show of solidarity with the government of Denmark. And none of these people, and a lot of the people in the United States are the same way. Number one, they don't understand Trump. If you want to understand Trump, all you have to do is think about the art of the deal and the ideas that he talked about in that, because everything he does is based on that. Unlike other presidents, and this is one of the reasons why the world hates him, why world leaders hate him, but unlike other presidents, when he says he's drawing a red line, he's drawing a red line, right? And everybody thinks, they're like, ooh, what if America invades Greenland? The United States isn't going to invade Greenland. It makes no sense. This whole thing with Greenland, talking about, trying to buy it or make it an American protectorate. Here's the logic behind that from Trump's perspective. I guarantee it. I'm not living in the guy's head, so I can't tell you this is 100% true, but I would bet my paycheck on this. Greenland is very important to the defense of the United States proper. Right? It always has been since in the modern age. It's always been important. If I were president and I thought we were headed towards World War III, I would do everything I could to secure everything possible to put my country in a better position. Like kick the Chinese and the Russians out of South America, like securing minerals and oil so that my country would be safe. So ghetto is that's something that supports my assumptions here. So Greenland is very important from a defensive standpoint, because if you got the Greenland UK gap, it's the Greenland Iceland gap. That is important on keeping the Russians out of the North Atlantic. And if you keep them out of the North Atlantic, then you've got supply lines to Europe secure. Anybody that's ever played the fantastic computer war game Harpoon 4 can see it in action. You can literally see it in action right there, how important it is. It's a strategically advantageous position. And if it's Golden Dome, yes, that makes it even more so, because it's closer to the route that the Russian missiles would take over the North Pole coming to America. It's also got a bunch of minerals. One of the things that he's been leaning on is trying to get a trade agreement with Greenland, and the government of Denmark's been standing in the way. The third thing is, as far as the defensive thing goes, if you were president and you thought you were going to be going toe-to-toe with not one but 2 adversaries on a global scale, would you trust our NATO allies to carry their weight and help us out? Or would them, in the current state that their militaries are in, would they be more of a detriment to the defense of the United States, or advantageous? Personally, they'd be a detriment. I mean, and that's not, I'm not taking anything away from the soldiers in these countries that are doing the job. I worked with some of them when I was in the military. Fantastic, very professional guys. They know what they're doing. The problem is their governments and the countries, the people that they serve, never saw the need for them because sugar daddy And Uncle Sam was always in the house taking care of stuff. And now that regionalization is coming into play, and America is looking at securing its own stuff before it secures anybody else. The game has changed, and quite frankly, I don't trust the government of Denmark to protect us. So Trump is trying to secure. I guarantee you, what he wants out of the deal is an advantageous trade agreement and military lease of some sort, which would be for the Golden Dome and the other stuff. Excuse me. So as you're listening to this, if you got people that start spouting all the stupid stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Just take it with a grain of salt. They say it's defensive, but we all know they need to have us scared to help the narrative control. Oh, that's I'm going to say this. I am going to say this. I think both sides are doing that, but the people that need fear the most for control right now are the Dems. The Democrats and the leftists are the ones that need people scared and thinking out of fear instead of using their heads. And yes, the military industrial complex is there's always going to be a boogeyman. But I think in this case, I told, in fact, I was talking, Scott and I, as we were working, we worked for about 12 hours. So we talked about a bunch of different topics. I would say this in my lifetime, since I remember, we are closer to a world war right now, or at least I feel this personally, than any time since 1982. And that was when I was a sophomore in high school. I think we're closer to a world war right now than we have been in decades. And so I appreciate whether Trump is doing everything right is beside the point. I do appreciate the fact that he's trying to get us secure, and we've got people fighting him every step of the way. Getting away from the one world order, American sovereignty, and Paul, yes, I think that's what Trump is trying to do. I think here's the problem with people trying to figure out Trump is they look at him as a politician, and he's not a politician. He never has been. He's a businessman. His first term, everything that he wanted to do looked like it came from a CEO and not a politician. And the reason why he had so much problems was because he surrounded himself with people that were policy wonks and politicians, and they got him off track from what he wanted to do. So he's come back this time. He's everything he's doing. Well, not everything, but most everything he's doing makes perfect sense from a business standpoint. It's very. He talks chaos. When he gets on social media, he just kind of stream of thought type of stuff, and it causes chaos. But if you look at what he's trying to do, it's very controlled and it's very orderly. And there's distinct goals behind it. And the obfuscation of everything that's happening comes from people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, comes from opposition media, comes from opposition politicians, comes from foreign disruptors. All this stuff is happening, and they are arrayed from us. And who was it said, Paul, with the one world order? Did you hear the comment from Kerry up in Canada when he signed the trade agreement with China? He flat out said, this one thing I love about Carney is he says the quiet stuff out loud. He flat out said on the microphone, this is going to be really good for the New World Order, their trade agreement. And Canada, gosh, how do I say this? Canada is shaping up to be a flashpoint in the future. I'm not saying anytime in the near future, but it is shaping up to be a flashpoint because they've destroyed their economy. They're eroding freedoms up there. They just signed a massive trade deal with China. China's already had troops in Canada doing training. They were doing oh my goodness, it was some sort of emergency training that they were doing. It was like legitimate first responder type of stuff. But the Chinese troops were there. Now, with the Trump doctrine in place, the Trump doctrine has replaced the Monroe Doctrine as how we deal with people coming into the Western Hemisphere and mucking about. All right, the Trump doctrine is taking care of that. Do you honestly think that Chinese troops deployed into Canada now is going to be acceptable? I can't see how it would be. I honestly can't see how it would be. I love it every time the market freaks out about something. He says, sell short, make money. Yeah. Starla's got a question, I think. Grumpy Acres, the FACE Act also protects churches, and Bondi arrived in Minneapolis 4 hours ago. Well, we shall see, Starla. Yes, and that is true. I saw that. Who was it? Somebody was talking about that. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about that. We shall see. We shall see what happens. By all rights, those people should be in jail. Every single one of those protesters that went in there and disrupted that church service should be in jail. So that's about all I got for you guys. I mean, I kind of went through it rapid fire tonight. Not a lot of exposition on it. Yeah, like I said, Scott and I talked about a lot of stuff. So if do you guys got any other questions you want to talk about or topics you want to talk about? There's a lot going on in the world, a lot going on in the country. If you guys get a chance, there's a video out there of Lee Zeldin he's the director of the EPA now, taking questions from reporters, and the New York Times reporter starts asking questions, and he calls her out on the lies that the New York Times sells. And that's a good point that we need to follow. So he had receipts. He knew what was going to happen. So he had the facts already lined up. He knew exactly what he was going to say, and he had it backed up by facts. We need to do that. That's one of the reasons why I like talking to you guys after we get done with the Homestead update, because it helps air out. We can kind of get everybody pointed in the same direction, and I'm not saying everything I say is fact. What I'm saying is it gets the conversation started so that we can learn more about it, either on our own or through helping each other here. Right. And you guys have helped me a lot. You guys point out all kinds of stuff that I was either vaguely aware of or had no idea about, and gets me looking into it. Makes me sharper in defending what I believe in. But so we need to make sure you got the facts. Get out, read the news. Don't take everything that somebody tells you, some talking head says on YouTube, at face value. Go do the research. Let it be a seed that's planted that you grow into a tree. There's a gardening reference. So with that said, unless you guys got anything else to talk about, I figure that by the time I get done with the spiel about going down the links below and buying stuff to help yourself, helping us in the process, and if you're new here and you made it this far, hitting the bell, or hit the notification bell and subscribing. What else? Don't forget, if you're using the Jace affiliate link, that's the only way that helps us. You can go to any other link. You can still use the Grumpy 10 and get money off your order. But you only help us by using the full Jace link, which is in the thing below, the doobly-doo below. Okay. Gregor says they seem to go after the low-hanging fruit. I want to see some of the top dogs go down. Yeah. And unfortunately, the Republicans don't have the balls. Let's just put it that way. The Republicans just don't have the balls to do that. The Democrats don't have a problem. Ideologically, they have no problem destroying their opponents, whereas the Republicans still seem to think that it's a collegiate club, and there's goodwill. We just disagree on how to do stuff, but there's still goodwill there, and we want what's best for America. The left doesn't want what's best for America. That's been proven time and time again. All right. So just anytime they say that, take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Paul is basically typing what I'm thinking. You guys have a good week. It's going to be a good week. Everything we talked about, none of that is supposed to put you off and make you feel down about anything. Yeah, that stuff's important, but think about it. Is it going to affect your life tomorrow, the day after, the day after, the day after? Chances are not. So find the good stuff in your life and run with it. All right. And with that said, until next time, go out and live life debt free.
Do you ever think about living in a world where we don't have access to modern medicine anymore?
Infections just aren't going to heal themselves. They're just not going to magically get fixed.
These medications will become life-saving for you and the people you care about. It's all done online through the Jace Medical portal.
This kit right here, it's called the Jace case.
Jace Medical, they can supply you with emergency antibiotics.
If somebody gets really sick, that might be the only thing that can save their life.
And it's full of the top 5 antibiotics that we would need in an emergency situation.
It's an actual doctor that's prescribing you to this. It can be tailored for you specifically.
Getting our Jace case was super simple. We just went on their website, filled out a short form. It was reviewed by a board-certified physician, and then he wrote the prescription and mailed this to us from a real pharmacy.
This is a great addition to your medical kit.